All right. Happy Sunday to all my friends. This topic, this live event, has been a long time coming. It's not my fault, but no. As you can see, our special friend, my special friend is back. She's in Munich, but Stephanie Forian joins us. I've asked Stephanie to join in on this conversation because of what Stephanie does, traveling the world or a lot of parts of the world, singing, doing concerts. I wanted to have input from her on thoughts on privacy and security. So, preserving privacy, does privacy exist? How do we define privacy? Do you feel private when you're on the web, no matter what you use, whether it's Windows, Linux, Mac, and so on? There was some recent news about Amazon, Stephanie, with new products that they sound cool, but all of a sudden they woke up and they said, "Hey, we believe in privacy too." Well, good luck with that. So, because I know I know you have the Alexa thingy, right? And so do I. And I usually unplug it during the day. I wonder if that really helps. But
Well, I unplug it when I'm, working because if I'm having a phone conversation, I want to make sure that anybody that I'm working for isn't being uncovered. So, like, I can only really have her on during private time.
Right. That's true. That's true. Okay. All right. So I know this was late notice, so we'll give people a few minutes to chime into the comments, and we'll go from there. But I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about, but we'll wait a few minutes. Again, this was not on the schedule; it was a last minute thing. So, but since our schedules happen to match at the last minute, here we are. So we'll see how this works out. Let's change the banner. Does privacy exist? And we'll go from there. So, when might you be releasing a new song or two?
Hopefully very soon. I'm looking within the next 2 weeks.
Okay,
The next song, yeah.
cool. If you guys haven't already, check out. I put up a couple vlogs last month. I know at least some of you saw the vlogs. Stephanie came to visit here for the first time. And if you're wondering, is she as nice in person as she is on YouTube? Not bad, not bad. No, I'm just kidding. It's an Italian thing, mensa mensa, half and half. Just a joke. All I can tell you is I survived. Haha, no, but
Big pointy teeth.
yeah.
Monty Python reference, yeah.
Right. No, but a couple of vlogs, and we shot some videos, music videos, and as soon as Stephanie approves one, I'll post one.
I have to look at them first.
I think the one is fantastic, but see, I'm not a singer, so I'm not into the technical stuff. I just listen and clap. It sounds good to me, so that's where we are at. But be on the lookout for that. I'll try to get one song up. So Stephanie, when you have a chance, take a look at that and approve it, and we'll go from there.
It's
But
here on my to-do list.
very good. You can check out Stephanie. There'll be no singing tonight. It's a little late for her, and she was kind enough to join in at the last minute. But you can check out her music there, stephanieforian.bandcamp.com. Again, no singing tonight, sorry. You guys have called her the angelic voice of YouTube. So and that's all I'm going to say about that. So you can check her out there. But tonight's topic is privacy. I've been talking about this, it seems like forever. Facebook had to pay a fine for its policies about privacy. I say privacy loosely about Facebook. They did have to pay a fine, about $5 billion, and I've joked, how much is your data worth? About $5 billion, I guess, according to the Justice Department. So I had a joke about Facebook and how to solve it, but I can't say that here. So anyway, but that's the topic. Does privacy exist? And how do you... Man, I drank too much Coke. Coca-Cola. Not sponsored by Coca-Cola. I shouldn't be drinking this, but I had a sweet tooth. All right, so how do you guys feel about privacy? Do you feel that no matter what you do, look, I feel more secure using Ubuntu or Linux based. I feel more secure. But once you get on the web, I still feel secure, but I don't necessarily feel more. You know, the web is like the internet to me is like one big bicycle tire, sealed. There's no leaks, right? But once you browse the web, sooner or later there's going to be a little pinhole leak in the tire, psst, and
I'm
that's
not
your
sure
data.
it's a pinhole. I think it's probably just
Okay. Okay, it's free. All right, so it's freaking unbelievable. No, I was trying to
yeah.
dress it up a little bit. Okay,
No, but I think also it depends. I would assume I know very little about Linux, but I know that on Mac and Windows, a lot is going to depend on your cookies settings, in addition to your browsing behavior. So
well, right in Linux space, you have a little more control over what it data collection. Now, I mean, like if you're reporting bugs voluntarily, that's still your data, but you're saying, okay, there was a bug, but for Linux, that's okay. You do have more control. But once you get on the web, what about factors outside the web? How do you control that? We always think of, well, I know it. I have a firewall and a VPN, and I have the policer every day, and I got the F. I mean, but think outside of the box. We have to think outside of the box on privacy. Now, again, if we're talking privacy among friends, family, stuff that is discussed in private, with your accountant, your attorney, your boyfriend, girlfriend, that's fine. That, of course, is private.
we
But that's
hope.
not what I will hope too.
Depends on the people.
Oh man, I know. You know what I learned, not learned, but I guess this year a lot. There was a lot of this revenge, girls, boyfriends getting revenge on their exes and post. I'm like, that's really low. I mean, come on, guys, and I guess girls, stop that. Yeah, but no, that's not what I'm talking about. What we are talking about today. So let's go into. Now, again, if anybody joins in late, feel free to say something in the comments. I know this was a last minute thing. Don't be shy. Say hello. All right. These are the ways that we can lose our privacy by not even thinking about it. Okay. Things that you have no control. Now, obviously, you cannot control the web, and you cannot totally erase yourself off the internet, no matter how much that you try. So I have a list here, and there's more, but I don't want to spend all night with the list. But these are the ways that we can lose some of our privacy without subconsciously thinking about it till after the fact. So let me go down the list. Satellite photos. High-tech photos. You walk down the street. There are days on a sunny day, hi, government. I just feel, say hi. They take a picture or a photo of you. How
Or
private do
when
you...
the Google Maps mobile drives by you on the street. That happened to me. I was like, oh, look, I'm on Google Maps.
Okay, well,
Great.
that's another one. I missed that one. That's number 11. See, right? Google Maps. Now look,
Drive-by privacy killing.
I don't think it's intentional that they want it, but because of what they do for maps, and so you get to your place on time, and I'm cool with that. Hi, Paul. Paul Sears in the house.
Ah, hello, Paul.
Say hi to Stephanie. She is. I'm monitoring all the comments for her, Paul.
Yeah,
So
I can't see any comments.
yeah. I just want to
Probably
make it
you'll tell me
easy.
everything
Yeah,
that's important.
yeah.
I'm
hi,
on
Paul.
a need-to-know basis.
Yeah.
Your comments
Yeah.
are private from me.
That's one for Stephanie. Okay. Hi, Paul. Yeah, I know you just came in. No singing tonight. It's kind of late for Stephanie. She's in Munich, Germany. By the way, when are you coming back to the States?
I don't know yet,
Okay.
but at some point.
Okay. Maybe for the holidays? Anyway, let me know. And we'll do something live from here. Okay. All right. So where were we? Satellite photos, or the Google satellite car. I don't know what they call the car. Google satellite car, mapping
I
car.
think it's just the map car. The map mobile.
Yeah, it's called the forget about privacy car. No. Okay, well that's okay. I have no problem with that because we use the Google Maps that day you were here for GPS, I think, to get to that place. So that's all fine. Hi, Quails. Quails in the house. Okay. All right. So number one, well, these aren't really like any particular order, but number one on my list was satellite photos. Can't turn that off. Dash cams, random dash cams. They take a photo of you. Have you seen those Russian dash cam video? Oh my God! They're like, "Hey, comrade, there's a stop sign. Yeah, so what?
That was the most Italian Russian I've ever heard.
I'm doing my best here. You should hear her do her Arnett Schwarzenegger. It's pretty good.
Oh no, no.
I won't have her do it now, but it's good. Anyway, it's like traffic laws are optional in Russia, comrade. Okay, but to my point was dash cams, random picture of you. How private do you feel now? Number 3, speeding ticket cameras. I've had a couple friends. I see them on there. What happened? Oh, I got a ticket in the mail. Oh, there was no cop there. Well, it's the cameras. They take a picture of the car and you. How private do you feel now? Now, granted, you went speeding, you broke the law, but who gave them permission to take a picture of you? Yeah, call the sheriff. See what happened. There, you lose your privacy now. Number 4, shopping cameras. Shopping in Germany. I know there's speed shopping there.
Is
Do
there?
they?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
A couple years ago. Was it last year? Christmas shopping. I think it was a Christmas thing, where you have to shop really fast and bag because there's someone behind how they do things there.
Oh well, yeah, but it's not like it's mostly like speed bagging because there's nobody to help you at checkout, and there's also
Speed bag.
no space after the checkout. So you have to, as they scan your items, you have to be putting it in your own bag.
Okay.
Because by the time they're done with you, they're
Okay.
on to the next person, and your stuff gets mixed up with the next person's, and if you haven't got your stuff under control, they get upset. Yeah.
Speed bagging, and I think I
that's speed
cracked.
bagging, yeah.
I think I cracked the joke. Hey, Stephanie, nice job bagging that story, haha. But no, but what's the point? Oh, are there cameras there when you shop? There are.
Yes,
Okay.
there are. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Walmart. Oh my! They should call Walmart Hollywood Mart. There were so many cameras. Last week I saw Tom Cruise come in. He says, "Hey, toss bananas on sale, 20 cents a pound." Thanks, Tom. Hey, call the Top Gun sequel, Top Banana. No, but seriously, there were so many cameras. I was buying shaving cream and like, not recording. Oh, but I didn't give you permission to record. Well, then don't shop there.
Well, here
But-
there's also cameras in the subways. When you're in
Okay.
England, there's cameras on the streets. Like if you're anywhere near Parliament, if you're anywhere near government buildings, there's going to be cameras there.
No, I get it. It can be a plus for more security and all that, but it's a trade-off. Again, how private do you feel now? Next on my list, vacation photos randomly shot by other people. Not the ones we took here when she came to visit and we did videos and stuff. That's fine. That's with our permission. But what about you travel on vacation? There's a couple there taking photos and they accidentally got you in there. There's nothing mean about it, but how private do you feel now? How do you feel about that? When you travel overseas and people take random... Well, see, you're in the singing business, so that's a wrong question. Because there's
normally,
always...
like if people are filming me on stage, I'm usually good with that because I'm like, oh, good publicity.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, here in Europe, there are different laws, though. Officially,
Okay.
according to they just passed, I think it was 2018, the GDPR, which is
Yes.
yes, General Data Protection Regulations. And
Okay.
according to the new laws, you are not allowed to photograph anyone with digital media in public. They haven't enforced that, but say if I am taking a picture in a public place, I'm not allowed to take a picture of anyone unless I have their express permission to take it.
I like that.
But like I said, how are you going to enforce that? And you go to the Glockenspiel or some famous landmark. Of course, tourists are going to be taking pictures, and the police aren't standing there fining you $20
Hey,
million.
yeah. Yeah, they probably don't want to lose tourist money. Yeah.
Right. But just theoretically speaking, in Europe, you're not allowed to, that's why I find vlogging a little bit challenging. I try to make sure I don't get anyone's faces, or if I do, I try to blur them out.
Right.
But even having them on your camera, because your camera is potentially connected to the internet, you're not even allowed to take those images. You're not even allowed to have them, even if you never intend to publish them.
Wow.
So it's kind of tricky.
It's hard. It's like I said, tourist photos. I mean, personally, I would not have a problem because I'm taking photos too. But if you feel a little squeamish about it, what do you do? Where's the privacy police?
You go out in a big, funny mask.
Just pretend it's Halloween. Yeah, the problem is you go out with now you get even more to hey, take a picture of this. So you can't win. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
but they don't know who you are at least.
That's true.
You have your privacy.
You have your privacy. Gnostic is in the house. Hi, Gnostic. Say hi to Stephanie. He says you probably have cameras all over the place on the streets. Oh, in my little town? No, this is a family protected town. No problem here.
But is there any privacy in a little town? In a small town? I think there's more privacy in the city in
Yeah.
general than
Yeah.
there is in a small town. Because in a small town, everybody knows you.
And the word travels fast here in this town. Stephanie came to visit here last month at two concerts, one here, one in Pittsburgh. And I know in this town, people were like talking, "Hey, when's she coming back?" So, but that's good. That's good loss of privacy, I guess. I don't know. But here in Gnostic, there are cameras for speeding tickets. There's tons of cameras in Walmart, in Kroger's. I feel famous when I shop there, you know. But yeah, we do have cameras here, and I'm actually kind of cool with that in a way. In a way. Okay, now where was I? We were talking about random photos, vacation photos. What about going for a walk or a jog up and down a neighborhood and those ring cameras, porch cameras, motion sensor? I get it why people have them, and that's cool. But they take a picture of you. Now what? Credit card history. How private do you feel now? Where was I? Jury duty. I am not in Dusseldorf, Ohio. No, I am in Steubenville. I am in Dean Martin country. Everybody. Yeah. Jury duty. Okay. What about ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends posting pictures that they should not have posted? How
Never
private?
be in a relationship ever because you will lose all your privacy. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
I was going to invite you next year, but I don't know. No. No, but sadly, I think they call that revenge dating, revenge. You know what I mean? Revenge. That's and guys and girls too, but guys that
Or
don't ever
like the
do
revenge
that.
porn when they're posting nude photos of their exes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
not cool.
bad. That's really
That's not cool.
yeah. It's there are some things should be off limits. So, but that's another show.
For another day.
Yeah. Gnostic says, "Hi, Stephanie," even though she can't see the comments. I am relaying all the comments to her. I'm just trying to make it easier for her.
He's
Gnostic.
protecting your privacy.
Yes, I am protecting.
So I can't see your comments unless he gives me permission.
No, I'm not hiding anything here, Stephanie. You know. It's a German town. It's a German named town. Oh, Dusseldorf. Oh, I guess it is German, Dusseldorf. I was going to say, that sounds German, Dusseldorf. Okay, all right. Shut up, Gnostic. No, just kidding. Okay, next. Driver's license photos. How private do you feel now? Driver's license renewal. How private do you feel now?
Passport renewal.
Passport. That's another one. So, yeah. What about the robocall voice prints? I'm getting tired of these robocalls. You know, if you accidentally pick up the phone, you start talking. Now they have a copy of your voice print for unfriendly means, I guess is the way.
That's why I only answer the phone like this. Hello? What do you want?
Oh my God! If I ever call you, I'm like, "Oh, Stephanie, it's me." God.
Are you a robocaller?
I know. I should answer that when it's like an unknown call. I'd be like, "Hello." Well, I should do Arnold. Who is this? Blah, blah, blah. Carm, it's your friend from high school. Oh, sorry, bitch. How you doing? I'm so sorry. You'll probably never call me again. I saw it anyway. Yes, Gnostic. It's not the name of my town, Dusseldorf. I know. Paul's going hee hee. Okay, all right. Okay, robocall voice prints. Oh, and speaking of phone calls, all the ways you can lose your privacy, and I didn't even mention a little thing called a cell phone. And you want to be private?
that little machine is like a privacy stealer right there.
It's like a sponge, a vacuum that absorbs everything.
Well,
Now,
I don't know if any of you guys happen to have Apple Watches like I do, but the new update now has a sound protection in it, meaning if you're in a space where the decibel level goes too high for too long, the watch will let you know so that you can put in earplugs or something. But that means it has to be listening. And the thing is, Apple is big on privacy, and so it is not turned on by default. After the new update, the watch asked us, it says, we will be able to hear your environment, but it will not be recorded. Do you still want to make this decision?
Uh-huh.
So at least they let you know that they could be listening.
You know, speaking of the Apple Watch, there was a cool story I caught this morning where that's one good thing about losing privacy. By the way, I changed banners real quick. I don't know if you guys caught Stephanie's name. It's Keanu Reeves for today. She's trying to be extra private. So,
Well, no, it's because, see, I'm actually Keanu Reeves, and this is actually The Matrix, and my residual self-image got messed up, so.
oh man, I gotta stop taking blue pills. Oh no, but was it the red one? I lost track. Yeah, okay, all right. Um, uh, where was I?
I know Kung Fu.
Yes, she does. Look out. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, the Apple Watch. There was a store. I guess there's a built-in feature in the watch where if you fall, there's like a shock protection, not protection, but you fall, the watch catches that, it cracks or breaks, and it sends a 911 call. There's a feature in the Apple. I forget what they call that. Anyway, the story goes.
The watch doesn't have to break to do that. The
Okay.
watch just, because it has a,
Shock. A shock.
yeah, it
Okay.
just registers that something must have fallen. It'll say, did you fall? And if you don't respond,
Okay.
then it
Okay.
will call. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. And by the way, Paul says, I think a good name for Stephanie would be Princess. Don't make her head bigger than it is, okay?
No, that's what I'll be next time. I'll be Princess. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Now to be open and disclose how to say what what he said. Thanks, Paul. What was I saying? I lost track now. Oh, the Apple. Okay, so this guy fell on his bike. He was mountain biking. He fell. He was hurt. So the watch sent a thing to 911. 911 called this dad's son, who alerted the son. Anyway, they found this gentleman who fell, and they saved him. So that's a good thing of not losing privacy. That's an instance where being monitored is good. So that's a feature in the one that can that be turned on or off?
Yes, that can be turned on. or
Okay.
off.
Okay. So that's good. That's good way to lose your privacy if it saves your life, I guess. I know it sounds kind of strange. So all these things I mentioned, how do you feel about it, Stephanie?
Well, I mean, it's a complicated issue. On the one hand, you have the fact that the modern economy, the digital economy, works based on data. And if you don't feed it data, it's not going to grow. And considering the fact that we live in a capitalistic society where the main goal is to grow without data, how would you grow? So you have the economic perspective there. You have the legal perspective. Is it fair that this is happening? Should the purposes be limited? Should people be able to be aware of what they're giving their data for and what it will be used for? And for example, if Apple wants my data, they want my location data to protect me if I fall, are they then allowed to sell that information to for some statistical purpose? And if so, should I be made aware of that, and should I be able to decide if my data will be sold or not? Things like that. And that's where Europe took, really severe steps last year with the GDPR. For example, if a company wants to do something other than what they initially stated with my data, they have to let me know. And they're not allowed to do it unless I give them my express permission in writing. So they can't just say, oh, by the way, we're going to sell your data now. They have to say, we would like to sell your data. Will you give us permission? And I have to say yes. They can't just assume that I say yes. It's not yes by default. But so yeah, you have, the economic aspects, you have the legal aspects, you have the personal aspects of confidentiality, integrity, personal relationships, and everybody there has very different boundaries. There's some people I know that they don't say anything about themselves, and there's some people I know who they're an open book. So it's kind of something that everybody has to decide for themselves. But I do think that, considering the fact that we are living in a society where companies and governments are currently collecting crazy amounts of data about citizens, where maybe some lines need to be drawn as to what's allowed and what's not.
So this GDPR overseas, are people? Has the reaction been positive or neutral or
Well,
so
I mean,
what? Or
it's kind of hell for small businesses because you have to have a data protection officer now for any company, even if you are a one-person company. You have to be your own data protection officer, and you have to be acquainted with the laws and what that means. So, for example, if I have a mailing list, I have to then ask everybody if people were on the mailing list before, and then I had to send an email out saying, "Would you still like to be on this email list?" And anybody who didn't reply back to that had to be removed from the list and deleted. I had to delete their information, even though the only way that I have their email address is because they gave it to me for the email list.
yeah, that's kind of odd.
But on the other hand, I never get robocalls. I never get spam mail. I don't get, like, the only spam that I ever get is from American companies who do not comply with GDPR, which is technically illegal. But like, as for like spam emails from European companies, that just doesn't happen. So I have an American email address. That's where I put all the American companies that I want to, be in contact with. They get that email address. And it's funny because my European inbox is only messages that are useful to me. And my American inbox is filled with nonsense.
Wow. And that GDPR for emails works pretty good.
It works amazingly.
Wow.
I never get robocalls ever. I never get spam calls.
Wow.
No
Wow.
businesses ever call me. No politicians ever call me. Nothing. Like, my phone only rings when someone I know is contacting me for a specific purpose. And that is so good because when I visit friends in the States, they're probably getting calls sometimes at certain times of day every 5 minutes.
Wow.
And it's from people they
Wow.
don't know. It's from scammers and businesses and politicians and
It never ends.
yeah. And
So,
my question is, because officially there's been legislation enacted in the states which says that there's a do not call list, and once you're on that, you'll be removed from all these lists. But everybody I know who's on that list still gets called like crazy, and they say, well, it's because they're using illegal technologies and we don't know how to get a grip on it. But why is it that then in Europe that I don't get any phone calls?
what's going on there?
It can't just be, I mean, because if they're using illegal things, then why aren't they doing that in Europe?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that
Right.
technology exists. It should be being used everywhere, you'd think.
Could it be in Europe they have a little bit more morals?
Well, I wouldn't even say that it's necessarily that, but also what I sometimes wonder is, for example, sometimes I've worked in marketing for music equipment, and I'll be a consultant for companies on how to market certain products to certain musician groups. And one of the things that we've always noticed is if you're marketing something to the American market, it's very different than, say, for example, if you market it to Germans. Because in the US, a lot of my friends on social media, they'll put that they like certain companies. Like, maybe they like this maker of microphones, or they like this maker of guitar amps. Whereas in Germany, they don't even use their real names on social media a lot of the time. They don't even have a picture of themselves, or if they do, it's covered, so you only see like a corner of their face. And they never put what they like. And of course, Facebook uses the information from your likes to target ads. Well, the companies that want me to help them figure out, how to target the ads and how to write the ads, for these certain musician groups, they ask me how to do that in Germany. And I tell them every time it's going to be tricky simply because people aren't willing to give that information to Facebook in the first place. So Facebook isn't able to do nearly as much targeting in Europe as they are in the US simply because people aren't willing to give up that information. Because they're much more concerned about privacy here than in the US.
So you do feel a little bit more private and secure over there, all
I'm
things
not
considered.
I'm not sure if it's an illusion, but I do know that when
Okay.
I look up people in the US sometimes to do, say, background checks if I'm going to go meet someone that I don't know, because I do travel a lot. I try to make sure that there's no open criminal records, being like, this person's a murderer.
Like me.
Yes. Carmine has not murdered anyone to our knowledge. This is good.
Not yet. No, just kidding. I did not do a background check on you. I just went by gut feel. My New York gut say she's okay. No, but
Well, I do
yeah.
think there's also a difference between men and women. I think that as a woman, I just naturally have to be a little bit more careful because it's just a
Right.
different situation. But
Understood.
if I'm looking up background information on someone in the U.S., it's much easier for me to find credit scores and outstanding court cases and any public complaints that have been registered about anybody that I'm looking up. Whereas I can't find anything like that in Europe.
I just want to let you know that my information is behind a firewall in Sicily. That's why all the bad stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I see.
Yeah, but interesting. So the GDPR, for what it's worth, does work at least in less robocalls and
extent.
to some extent. Okay.
However, it also depends on the person because there are, what I was saying about Germans, that's a generalization, which of course means there are some Germans who are totally willing to put themselves out there. And a lot of times, if you're a performer, you have to put your face out there and you have to put information about yourself out there. And so then,
Well, because of what you do.
Right.
And that's understandable. You can't expect to be a quote unquote private and do what you do because it's counterproductive for you to get your name out there. However, that could be bad too. Could you tell that story again where you were doing a show? You went to the car. I'll just go to the car and you were mobbing the Russian guy.
Oh.
True story.
Wait, which mob story should I tell?
Oh my God.
There's a bunch of them. Was this
Pick-
the one with the guitar picks, or was this
Pick
the
the
one
bet. You told one here when you came by the stage, but like if there's a better one, be my guest.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. There's a lot of stories, but there was one time where wanted to go to the bus because I was really tired. We had been on the road for I think 3 weeks already, and we were sleeping in the bus on the way to the next town
Yeah.
overnight. I mean, it's just it's tiring, and so I was just ready for bed. And the show got over I think at midnight or 1 a.m. So I mean, it wasn't an early night anyway. And I really wanted to go to the band bus, and I was like, I'm just gonna pack up my stuff and go. And the bodyguards were like, no, you stay. And I was like, nobody knows who I am. I'm the background singer. Nobody could care what I'm doing. So I walk out and they're like, oh, the singer! And I was like, oh no! And this whole group of fans who weren't actually fans of me, they were fans of the singer I was traveling with, but they're like, oh, she was on stage with him! And they're on top of me, trying to grab clothes and hair, and I'm like, ah! I thought I was gonna die, but the bodyguards were very tall and burly, and they managed to pick everyone off me. They're like, we told you, no! And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'll always listen, I'm so sorry.
I think that was the story or some close to it that you told here. But yeah, sometimes notoriety can be a bad thing, and it wasn't like you were out there looking for it because you're thinking, well, I'm not a big name. I'm just a background singer.
Right. Well, I figured I'm in the back. Nobody knows who I am. I'm just singing in the background.
But the audience associates you with the star, whoever the star is, that they know. Hey, she's with him or her. Let's go. Yeah. LJ Pellegrino says hello to me. We'll say hi to Stephanie. LJ. No, but I don't know if you noticed, Stephanie, but when we were walking up and down the Parkway Theater, getting to know, that was my first time there. I didn't know. I mean, I knew that the theater was fine, but I didn't know anything about the joint. So it wasn't just a matter of protecting me. I got to protect you, or else your mom would kill me. Your mom was going, hey. So I don't know if you noticed, but when we walked side by, I walked slightly ahead of you. You may have noticed, and
oh yeah, I had my own bodyguard.
Yeah, well, that was me. I didn't say nothing. I'm like, well, no. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that now the world knows, because if it's a place I've been before, I know the people there. Yeah, go walk by yourself. But it was my first time there. No, look, if somebody jumps me, good luck. Not number one. But I'm with a friend, especially first time visitor. I'm like, let me just walk a little bit ahead of you, Stephanie.
But you forget, I am Keanu Reeves, and I know.
Yes. This is her name. Here we go. There, that's the banner. Yeah, that's right. No, but anyway, I guess that. I mean, what if that was me? What if I'm the background singer? I'll just go to my car to get a, whatever, a candy and all these. Of course, if I had a bunch of girls come out, I'm not sure I would say no, no. I don't know, but no, I guess that would be unnerving, just to say the least. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Being somewhat famous like Stephanie has its ups and downs.
I am not famous.
Okay.
I'm not. Like, I bet those people, if they saw me on the street right now, like a couple of years later, they probably don't remember me.
Or
But
they might
because
say, "What?
they had just seen a show with
I
you
know your
before.
face. Yeah, where did I see you before? It's Steubenville. No, not in Steubenville. But no, I understand. I understand.
No, there was only one time where I was traveling through the airport where I was going through security and this guy goes, "You're that singer." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're in that band, Ruby Ruff." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "You know my band?" Like that was cool because it was one person and he was very nice.
But that's okay. But that's good. That's good. Okay, let me get the banner off because she's not Keanu Reeves.
I so am Keanu Reeves.
This is Stephanie's music here. Stephanie Foreman at Bandcamp.com. If interested, LJ says hello. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm just watching the chat for her, LJ, so she doesn't have to work as hard for tonight. It's kind of a little bit late there in Muncie, Munich, I say Muncie, Germany. A few years ago, you were doing a radio show thing. There was a sign behind you, and I think it said Radio Munich or Radio Munchen.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote
Yeah.
Radio Munchies, and you were like, "That's the best." To me, I saw Munchies. That's why I say Munchie, Germany. Anyway, Quails, are you a Mac user? He wrote down Mac users. Tut. I don't know what you're trying to say, but no. But the point I was getting at is you have to be aware and vigilant in today's world.
Because
Especially,
I think in reality, even though it's harder to be private in the US, you can maintain your privacy if you want to, but you definitely have to take precautions and you're also going to give up some convenience.
right. You can retain some of your privacy, as it were. Can you gain total privacy? You can't because, again, how do you erase yourself off the internet? Say you wanted to start from scratch.
Well, there is the right to be forgotten. There was that case in Spain, and that actually, I think, started the whole thing. But officially, if you want, they can't erase you from the internet, but Google can erase all record of you so that no one can find you.
Okay. Let's
So
say
they
Google
would
does
have to.
that. But what about the information that's outside of Google on the web? That's the problem. How do you control the web?
Yeah, this is true,
Yeah.
but the thing is, you have to know where to find the information. And without a search engine, if every search
Okay.
engine has to remove my name, then even if a newspaper has an article about me, someone would have to know that that article exists, and that I'm in it, and then they'd have to Google that article to find it. Because how
Okay.
often do we know the exact web
Okay.
address that we're looking for? So, yes, you
So it's
can-
harder. It's harder. Okay. All right.
And under this law, if someone had something about me that was published, I could go to them and say, you have to remove that from your website, and they're required to.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
The question is when it comes to journalism, that I'm not so sure, because journalistic articles, they can't necessarily just erase everything, because that's how we get our information.
That's how we get information.
That's
We
our
have a-
record of history.
We have a
So,
right to know, right?
Yeah.
These are my thoughts on the whole thing, and it's not something I thought about, till years later. I'm like, gee, what if somebody, and you've heard horror stories of people where they've had their faces photoshopped and these deep fakes, which are very convincing. It's usually done with stars like Schwarzenegger or Stallone or somebody else. It looks kind of funny, but that's not funny in a way, because you never gave these people your permission, I think in today's world, my definition of privacy is to be as totally private as possible, meaning almost no information, which is impossible. It just, again, there were too many leaks in that bicycle tire in the balloon or whatever, too many leaks. I said a little pinhole leak. You're like, no, it's a tidal wave
Well,
toss.
the
Okay.
second you're going to put yourself out there on the internet, I mean, just having an email address is dangerous in that sense. But
Yes.
I mean, if you want a social media account, whoa, good luck with that. Because now, I mean, it used to be that you could register with some fake name, but now you need to prove who you are. Because they're trying to lock down on fake accounts, which is horrible because if I want my cat to have a Facebook account, then how am I supposed to prove that my cat's name is Studio Cat? But I understand where you're coming from.
Okay. Of all the things that we've talked about, I just think, in general, in my definition of privacy in today's world, not just on the web, Stephanie, but on the 10 or 12 things that I listed here, I think it's impossible. So I don't think it exists the way I would like it to exist. Now, that does not mean just going to put yourself out there and forget about it. No, 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 no. You still want to be as private as you can, be as secure as you can, because it is your life, so be careful. But to be private, in the way I define it, I think you have two chances of becoming private. And those two chances are slim and none.
So I agree with you. But how can you minimize your data footprint then, in a realistic way?
Okay, so
If you want to live within normal society, be on social media. How can
all
you
right,
minimize your
all right. So I feel a little more private, and you are, and more secure using a Linux-based system that does not throw your data out. At least I trust it enough to where if there is a data leak or privacy leak in a Linux distro, the community says, "Hey, hey, hey, well, look what's going on." So I do feel a little more private that way. You can use VPNs, virtual private networks. Supposedly that's supposed to make you more private, but then who's monitoring them? Say it's Mr. Smith. Well, then who's monitoring Mr. Smith? Again, there's too many leak points, leak possibilities. You see?
So you just have to put fake information about yourself out there.
Well, I have fake
And that
email.
way nobody will know what's real. So if I tell you I am Keanu Reeves and I know Kung Fu, and
Right.
I put that everywhere on the internet,
Yeah,
then maybe people
yeah.
will be like, well, maybe she is Keanu Reeves.
Well,
Maybe
she's
she's
not
like
Keanu Reeves, but my shoulder's still sore from those free lessons that you gave me. No, last month, but no. No, I mean I see what you're coming from, but I just think because we have no control, and for me as a New Yorker, not having control is very uncool. But I get it. You nobody, no matter how smart you are, intelligent, how rich or poor, you can't control everything. It's impossible. There's just too many random possibilities. So I get that. But to be private today, in my definition of privacy and security combined. Now, again, when I say privacy, I'm not talking security. Security against malware, ransomware, having an up-to-date system. You can be as close to 100% secure as possible. I'm not combining the two for this topic. I would like to have both. I'm talking strictly privacy. Your data, which according to the USA Justice Department, it's worth $5 billion to Facebook. That's what I mean. Richard Addison said,
some data
yeah,
is worth more than others, I think.
yeah, it's worth more than that. Yeah, maybe yours, not mine, because I'm not a singer. Richard says, for most people, hi, Richard. Say hi to Stephanie. For most people, it does not, but it's technically not impossible. You mean total privacy? I think it's totally impossible. Again, there are too many leak points in the web. I don't like it, but it is what it is. That's why I said you have two chances of being private. Your chances are slim and none. Good luck with that, because you cannot control everything. It's impossible. Now, to be secure, yeah, against malware, stuff like that, viruses, absolutely. You can have your system leak out, well, not leak, put out less data, as in don't use Windows 10. Of course, now with Windows 10, the problem isn't data leakage, it's updates and drivers that break everything. This month, was the last month, this month, an update broke the start menu. Really, Windows? That sounds like a vaudeville act. Yeah, then an update broke the start menu. It really did.
Don't make me cry.
I know you have your issues, but with Windows 10, thankfully I have not.
I have issues with Mac too. I have not found a perfect system. Maybe I do need to use Linux.
No, but your issues, but in Mac, have the updates ever broken anything the way they do in Windows?
No. But okay, I had extremely bad luck. The thing is, with Macs, you need to time your purchase right. Because if you buy the wrong Mac at the wrong time, because they do updates, 1 to 2 times a year.
Yeah. Okay.
I got stuck with Mavericks, and I can't update my OS because
Oh
my
man.
software that I need won't work in any of the other operating systems. But that
Oh
means
jeez.
my scanner won't work because the scanner has like a Mavericks bug. Like nothing on my system will work. And so I'm using an outdated computer. I could theoretically update the operating system, but I lose all my software and have to buy all new versions of it. And I'm just like, ugh.
Okay.
So Mac has issues too.
Okay, so the issue with Mac, I don't have a Mac. I'm not defending Mac. I'm just saying that. So the issue with Mac mainly is the wrong pricing. It's not priced as fair. Would that be the number one issue?
That's one of them. But the other thing,
Okay.
they market it, for example, the MacBook Pro as a pro machine. And depending on the version you buy, the year you buy it, if you're
Oh,
lucky, maybe
jeez.
it is. But for example,
Okay.
like on the new machines, there's not even a headphone jack. But on the old machines that had a headphone jack, it was a bad quality headphone jack. They're selling
Wow.
me a premium priced machine
Okay.
with B class parts, and that is not cool.
That is
If
very
I am
uncool.
paying for premium, I want premium in the box. And the only reason I stick with Mac is because once it's up and running, it's up and running.
Okay, so in general, would you say you feel a little bit more private in a Mac or more secure in general?
I say it really depends on how you're using it. I mean, because you could
Okay.
you could install whatever browsers you want, even the most secure browsers. But if you're going to use Google on that browser, or if you're going to log into a Facebook account from that browser,
Okay.
it doesn't matter how secure your system is because you're putting information on the web.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you so? But overall, for what you do, Apple, the Mac product seems to be more stable for what you do versus Windows.
Yeah, they're much
in
more
general.
stable.
Okay.
Oh, like 100 billion times, yes. Like Windows is a nightmare for me. It's
I-
like
I-
60% of my time is spent troubleshooting with
You
Windows
know,
machines.
if it was like, say, Windows 7 was the newest one, I don't think I would believe you. But Windows 10, I believe you because of all the updates.
I don't. I had Windows 7 and it did it. I had
I'm
Windows
surprised.
98 and it did it.
Well,
Windows
98.
2000. No,
I'm surp-
I've never had a Windows machine that didn't torture me.
Okay, I'm a little bit surprised with 7 because I didn't have any issues with Zippo. But see, I don't do what you do, heavy, multimedia stuff like what you do. But I'm a little surprised you had issues with Windows 7. Richard says, Stephanie, don't listen to Carmine. Hello. Okay, fine. As I was saying, but
Very good.
that seems to be Apple's business model according to Gnostic. Yeah, it would appear so.
I think, I don't know, I've heard the new machines have gotten better.
Okay.
I don't know, can't speak from experience yet.
Okay.
But perhaps I'll be able to soon. But one thing I do like about Apple in general is that they do seem to put more, they seem to give more value to privacy. For example, Apple Maps. They do take information, but they chop it up, so they're never taking your entire route for analysis purposes.
Okay.
And that means that they can't tell where you're going and why. And on the one hand, that's great because that makes me a private person. However, it also means that Apple Maps, because the amount of data that they have collected is so much smaller than the amount that Google has, they're not nearly as far along in their navigation abilities. So it's a give and take. However, when Google tells me, like, oh, your car isn't parked in the same place anymore, I'm like, why does Google know where my car is parked? Like, that freaks me out. Or like, oh, by the way, your favorite donut shop is 2 minutes away. I'm like, how do you know where my favorite donut shop is, Google? I don't even eat donuts. Like...
Again, all those little leaks in the system where you think you're private and you are not. Hi, Yugi. Say hello to Stephanie. Yugi O is in the house.
Hello.
Richard says Microsoft is ruining Windows 10 on purpose. I don't think they really are on that. I think they made some poor decisions. I have a saying, never underestimate the power of stupidity. And with Microsoft and Windows 10, that's what I mean.
I've never been a fan of Microsoft, but I've also never been a fan of Apple. I am a fan of nothing.
You're a fan on what works, basically.
Well, yeah, the lesser of the two evils, I guess. But like
Yeah.
I said, like if Linux would have some competitive software that I could actually use to work with my clients, I'd be game for trying that.
Well,
None of my clients use Linux
Yeah.
machines.
Right. Richard says, Stephanie, privacy can only exist on free software and free everything. Well, again, I think Linux is great for a little bit more privacy and security. But once you get on the web, now, if you never get on the web, no problem. Problem solved. But how realistic is that? Because we connect. We're connecting now on the web. I met the community people. I met Stephanie on the web through you guys, you know. So it's good and bad. But
But
I
I do have to
just,
say,
yeah,
like a lot of the programs that are written for Apple machines,
yeah.
they are contacting their own servers in the background to transmit information. But there are programs that will make you aware of that. And those programs that are trying to say, for example, Adobe wants to, send information. And I mean, I honestly believe that a lot of times they're using that information to improve their products, and they don't really care about you. They just care
Yeah,
about
yeah.
improving their products. However, if you don't want that, there are programs like Little Snitch out there, and Adobe.
Little Snitch.
It's called Little Snitch, yeah.
I thought I saw that in the Mafia movie.
Nope. But Little
Okay.
Snitch will then say, by the way, this program is trying to communicate with its server. Do you want it to do that or not? And then you can choose whether it's allowed to do that or not.
They should call it Little Whistleblower or something. I don't know.
But Little Snitch sounds so
I know,
cool.
he's a snitch, right? It's not so much smaller as Apple is. This is from Gnostic. As Apple is getting into medical record storage for conglomerates. Good luck with that. Okay. Speaking of Adobe, Stephanie Woodbeast says, "Hi guys, Windows 10 has been great for me. Record music using Studio One. He runs Adobe CC Cloud." And so many other known software never had issues on Windows 10. I believe you. My Windows 10 machines, I don't have those problems, but apparently millions of others do, like Stephanie has. So
Yeah, like
Microsoft
my graphic
botched
card
it.
stops
Let-
working
yeah.
every single update. Windows.
Microsoft botched it with Windows 10. Windows 8 was an experiment, different look. They went to Windows 10. It looks great, but yeah, and it seems to me they got rid of their testing team and let robots do it. Great job, Microsoft.
They're taking over the world. I mean, robots,
Yeah.
not Microsoft. Robots.
Yeah, or Microsoft. Yeah, yeah, right. Richard says first you need to define privacy. Well, I did. All right, I tried to. To me, privacy is as totally private as possible, meaning no data on the web without my permission. And again, no matter what you do to your system or what system you use to deflect or prevent data leakage from going out, all it takes is that one little piece of data to go out and it spreads like a wildfire. That's why, for me, privacy, with my definition of privacy, does not exist. Because no matter how careful you are, and I am, Stephanie is, not security. Security against, malware, viruses, that you can be about 100% as possible. But see, that's not profitable. Your data is profitable. That's why they sell it. That's why you have two chances of being private on the web. Your chances are slim and none. And not to mention these other things I talked about: satellite photos, dash cams, speeding ticket cameras, Walmart shopping cameras, vacation photos, credit card history, jury duty, ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends. Whew. It's impossible, guys, but that's my feeling about that. Yugi says he's having an issue with his Mac is draining the battery with Mac OS Mojave. I guess that's a question for Stephanie. I don't know.
Considering the fact that I cannot update my Mac from Mavericks, which was like 2012, I think. Like, I can't say anything about Mojave because I can't update my OS, which is driving me insane. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm
There
not
you go.
angry. I really hope you find a solution to your problem.
Yeah. That's okay. You could vent steam. I have my fire extinguisher here. No, just kidding. But
Excellent.
Woodby says once you join YouTube, forget about it. Or should I say, forget about it? I agree. Steve is in the house. Steve Zurion's in the house. Greetings from Great American Fright Fest. Is it Halloween? The Fright Fest? Okay. Hi, Steve. Side to Stephanie. I'm monitoring the chat for her. So we're going to probably wrap this up here shortly. So we want to get everybody a chance to chime in on this, what I believe to be is a serious topic, even though we joke about it. best advice I can give my friends is, again, be vigilant, be aware. Yes, you want to be more secure and move private. Definitely use a Linux-based system. But don't let that give you a false sense of total privacy, because once you get on the web, it does not exist, in my opinion. I don't care what you use. Again, there are too many leaks out there. That does not.
I have a question for everybody.
Please, yeah,
Because I'm always looking for a good search engine. Like, Google is an excellent search engine.
it
It gives
is.
me the results that I want. However, there have sometimes been some multicultural projects that I've worked on that are for, cultural understanding and, love, peace, and whatever. But I've had to Google some, stuff that I think if it was looked at out of context, you'd be like, why is this girl Googling this and then that and then this? And then I was working on another project, working for something for yard work. But all of a sudden I'm Googling, going from, understanding Muslim culture, and then all of a sudden I'm going to like axes. And like, it's like, why would she be Googling like Muslim stuff and then like lawnmowers and axes? Like, and it's like all of a sudden, like, if you put two and two together the wrong way, like, it was all completely innocent. I wasn't even Googling it for my own personal stuff. It was all for professional purposes. However, and it was for totally different, unrelated projects. However, if all of a sudden then I start having to Google certain chemicals for fertilizers, but those fertilizers can theoretically be used to make some sort of weird explosive, like, and people start putting two and two together in the wrong way, there, I mean, and then you have a perfectly innocent person who has absolutely, like, no whatever evil intentions in their head, but all of a sudden it looks suspicious. And so, how would you go about using a search engine in a situation like that? You can't cover your tracks. So, what search engine
Guys,
would you use?
we'll let the team toss chime in here.
Yeah.
As far as more private search, there's one called DuckDuckGo
Yes,
that
I
I.
have used that, but the results aren't very great, I have to
Okay,
say.
I would have to agree. There's one called Start Page. You can try that. Any other ideas here? Here, Richard says to me, this discouraging people and making people skeptical of privacy is part of tearing down privacy. I'm not. I believe in privacy. Okay, totally believe in privacy and security. However, I am not going to sit here and say you can be totally private once you hit the web, because that's not true. That's misleading. Sometimes I feel like Jack Nicholson in the movie A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. No, but I do believe in it. That's why I'm laying it on the, or I'm telling you like it is. There are way too many holes out there on the web for you to think you have total privacy. Should you not be private? Of course. Should you do everything you can to be, safe and secure and private and vigilant? 110%. As a New Yorker, we believe in that. I was born in New York. It's very easy to get lost out there, or like any big city, or to be caught off guard, pickpockets, this and that. I totally believe in that. But if you think, well, I'm going to buy this machine or buy this phone and I have solved the issue of privacy, come on. It's like those guys on ESPN Center. Come on, man. you know,
Well,
that's
like
not
I
a.
said, but even if you were to solve it with a technical fix,
Right.
if you give someone a smartphone and you say this smartphone is secure,
Yeah.
and it's going to
Right.
protect your privacy. However, if you use that smartphone to put your data online on a social media profile,
Yeah.
or if you're going to make a YouTube video with it, then you've automatically voluntarily given up your privacy. I
Right.
have a friend who takes privacy probably more seriously than anyone I know. He uses email, but he has absolutely not a single social media account. There are no pictures of him online. You can Google his name. You can have all of his information. You won't find a single picture of him anywhere because he's very careful to avoid being. If he sees someone taking a picture, he'll avoid it. If someone says, "Oh, let's take a selfie together," he's like, "No." And he has an email, but he can't read his email from his phone. He has Linux. He has a Linux laptop, and he will access his emails. But like I said, he only has his work emails on there. If he wants to talk to you privately, he will call you, and that's it. Now I'm not sure how private our calls
Well,
are, but
I do believe in privacy. That's why I'm telling you, not you, but everybody else in the world or on YouTube who follow this channel, because I call it like it is. I want you to be private. That's why you need to be aware that privacy on the web, the way I define it, as a Christian, as a New Yorker, as an American, I believe in privacy. But once you get on the web, no matter what you do, and you can take steps to be a little more secure, once you get on the web, privacy does not exist on the web. Can it exist in your personal life? Sure. In the system, in the technology that you use? 100%, totally agree. But what happens once you get on the web? You know, I don't want to be treated like a fool. Oh, you buy this thing and you're going to be stay private. Yeah, but I go on the web. I do YouTube. Now, granted, I already, Stephanie's a singer. To be totally obscure for her would not be good, because that's what she does. So we give it is a matter of convenience. Somebody said it's psychological warfare. Probably. Lot of comments here, Stephanie. Do VPNs help? Yeah, I don't have one personally, but absolutely they can help. Some people have an issue with privacy, with understanding how privacy works. Yeah. Richard, yeah. Steve says, no privacy here on you, great America. Open Wi-Fi. Oh, yeah, that's really private. Woodby says, New York mayor is okay by you. I don't know him, so I can't answer that. I haven't been back in New York in years, and I have one person calls me from Long Island, and we never talk about the mayor. So there's your answer. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I don't know. If it's something I don't know, I'm not going to say anything. Startpage uses Google search engine, but does not track. Stephanie, try Startpage.
Startpage.
That's what it's called. It does not track. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I will take a moment and say Stephanie writes great songs and is intelligent and beautiful lady. Woodbeast. Woodbeast, here's that $20 I owe you. No, just kidding. All right, there you go, Stephanie. When you have lost all your privacy, you will have lost all your other freedoms as well. I don't believe we have lost all our privacy on a local level, meaning your friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, your significant. No, there are things that can be private one-on-one or family. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is once you put your life on the web, either by accident, you didn't mean to do that. And by the way, if you're thinking about putting something on the web and you have to think about it, the answer is no. Just don't do it. And then maybe think about it later, Richard. But yeah, I would have to agree. If you have lost all your privacy, which I think we have on the web, you have lost other freedoms as well. I can't really argue with that. What I'm saying is don't have a false sense of security or don't be diluted. We're saying if I buy this piece of technology that's more secure, more private,
But is there anybody out there selling a piece of technology that says this smartphone will protect your privacy?
Well, yeah, there's something called the Librem Linux phone that supposedly it's going to protect your privacy. It's like 720p display. It's like $700, and they're pushing the privacy thing. Number one, to me, that's baloney. I believe the phone is secure, 100%, but once you get on the web, and number two, it's overpriced. I'm sorry, but that's how I see it. I still wish him the best of luck. I want another option for cell phones and not just Apple and like the Android phones and Samsungs. But buying any piece of technology to say you buy this and you are now private, yeah, just don't get on the web, because once you do that
But
leap,
that's what you use a smartphone for.
catch 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
but I do have to say, sometimes I'm actually shocked at what people put on the web. Like, just not even because like it's bad. Like sometimes people share things and I'm personally happy that they're sharing it because they're friends of mine and we're friends on social media, and I'm glad I can be part of their lives. So like I'm happy that I get to see those things. So I'm not judging them for putting it on there. I'm like, oh yay, I get to because I live so far away and I travel so much. That's the only way I really get to keep in touch with people. So I'm thankful for it. But at the same time, the other flip side of that coin is I'm like, but you just put a naked picture of your kid online, and I don't know what your privacy settings are, but anybody could potentially see that.
Well, then that's the
Or
person's
like,
fault, right? Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
their future, like when their little kid grows up, and then their first girlfriend or boyfriend comes over and they're like, and they Google them and they're like, oh look, it's a naked picture of Billy or whatever. I mean, like, when it was just like someone coming over and like seeing the naked picture of you that your mom has like framed on the mantle, that's like one thing because they're in your house, and you can at least try to hide the picture. But I mean, if it's online for everybody to see, I don't know. Kids these
That
days, I don't know
that
what they're gonna
leak,
do.
that leak out in the web, would be says even the privacy of our government officials get hacked.
Or like, what about that data hack with all the celebrities and all those nude pictures that I never looked at, but I imagine a lot of people did.
Number one, if you're a celebrity, even if you're not, and you're putting nude pictures of yourself on private servers or private, what the bleep are you thinking?
Well, okay, but let me just say, like, as someone who travels a lot, now
Yeah.
I perfectly agree with you. I don't think, like, I don't put naked pictures of myself anywhere. They just don't exist. However, I can understand that if you are on a film shoot and your husband's also on a film shoot, and you haven't seen each other in 2 months, and you're trying to keep the spark alive. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do it in a secure way? So you think you have a secure server?
I know exactly how to do it. If I'm with my
Okay.
significant honey and we haven't said we want to get the spark, where's that Polaroid camera? There you go.
Yeah,
Done.
but I mean, you mail that, and I mean, do you know how many people have their? I mean, these people have personal assistants. They're opening the mail. I mean,
I would mail it certified mail, only to be opened by my honey. Number
I
one,
personally wouldn't even bother because I'm just not into that sort of thing.
I wouldn't
But
either. If I had, I'm just saying if I had to, I wouldn't. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not
I
gonna do it. You
I
know.
I agree, and I
Yeah.
have a feeling a lot of celebrities are
Yeah.
rethinking how they want to start the spark.
Too
But
late. Too late. Once it's on the web, I would just send a nice romantic text, no matter how hot it is. It's a text. That's not a photo. If like somebody wants to steal the text, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't
I'm not
I
even
don't
sure I
know.
would do that. I would just
Yeah,
say,
I
I
don't
miss
know.
you, honey. See you
But
next week.
see,
Done.
now you're getting into self censorship. And that's also an issue because we have no more privacy, so we're now censoring ourselves because we are worried that things that are actually perfectly okay to say and do. For example, if married couples feel like taking hot pictures of themselves and giving them to each other, who am I to judge that? They can do whatever they want, and it doesn't affect me because I never see it. But all of a sudden, maybe they're not doing that because they're scared that someone will find it, or maybe they're not sending the text because they're scared someone will read it. And they're all perfectly legitimate things to do, but we're not doing perfectly legitimate things for fear that they'll be discovered.
I have played it safe. I don't have a significant other now, but I have never taken. We have never taken pictures. Period. We just don't do it. We were in private. Privacy means to be in private time, as it were, and that's it. That's the only way to be 100% sure.
That really is.
Would-be says, okay, what's the link? Text
But
me
then,
later. Yeah.
but do you have Alexa in your bedroom? Also a problem.
I
She
cracked the
should stay in the
joke.
kitchen.
I cracked the joke. I know you unplug it during the day, and so do I, try. But I cracked the joke last week. I guess I can say this. What if I'm dating a girl named Alexa, and we're together, my real girlfriend, and we're starting to get romantic, and I say Alexa, then the fake Alexa goes, "Please repeat. Sorry, you can't do that. I can't." Now it gets, okay, all right, yeah. So, but
Then
that's true.
change your Alexa's name to Echo.
I guess you can change the wake up word or whatever
You
it's called.
can,
Yeah, come
yeah.
to think of it, yeah. I never, yeah, okay, well, there, but still, I think I would just have it unplugged. Yeah, yeah. It is convenient. Set the alarm, play music, notes, and all that. I know you use it too, and that's fine. But be aware,
She's
it's
always
every.
listening.
She's always listening like a nosy female. I don't know.
Unless, but can't you have her now be like Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, I did a quick. Yeah, you can buy voices, celebrity voices of Samuel. Boy, that would be something. So instead of Alexa saying, "Good morning, it's time to get up," you would have Samuel L. Jackson. Wake up, fool! Bleepily bleep. Get your bleepily bleep out. Oh, well, what if it's Schwarzenegger? Blah, blah, wake up. Blah. I would buy Schwarzenegger's voice. I would buy Stephanie's voice doing Arnett Schwarzenegger. Get up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'm up. I'm up. Encryption can be hacked. It can. Anything created by man can be destroyed by man. Would-be says.
Unless, of course, the robots kill us all first.
That's right. Skyview? Skynet on Terminator. I can't wait for Terminator 6, by the way.
Is it Terminator 6?
It's called Dark Fate. Yeah, I think I meant, yeah, it's coming out. There's a hero female Terminator now. There you go.
A hero Terminator? So she's a good Terminator?
I guess so. From the trailers, it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I so root for the sequels. I'm like, oh, please be good. Like Matrix, right? I love The Matrix. It's one of my favorite movies. Then came the second one, and I was like, okay.
I think I like the second. Like, the third one, I don't. Yeah.
Wait. I'm trying to remember which one. There was one of them where I was like.
The third one wasn't. Yeah, they're making another one, by the way.
I heard, and I'm really rooting for it. I'm really hoping it's going to be good.
But see, at one point, do you stop? Remember the movie Terminator Salvation?
Which one was that?
That didn't have Arnold. He made a cameo at the end, but it starred somebody else. And I'm thinking, where they stopped is you'll have Arnold at age 95 doing Terminator Salivation.
Well, by then though, they'll have CGI Arnold.
That's true. Yeah.
And he'll look even better than the real.
Right. Would-be says that's funny. Yes, we are. Thank you.
Carmine is. I'm just. Yeah. He's the comic relief.
Well, it takes two to tango, huh? Would-be says, Stephanie, do you copyright your music?
Well, funny thing about copyright law is, especially at least in Germany, as soon as a creative work is created, as soon as it exists in a recorded form, meaning it is written down or it is recorded in a digital file, it is copyrighted. And according to German law, since I work in Germany and am a German artist, that means that work of art is considered part of me physically and cannot be bought or sold.
Automatic.
It's automatic. Like as soon as when I post a video on YouTube, it is copyrighted and it's even time stamped. So if anyone were to say steal it, technically I can go back and say, well, this was the video created at this date. But of course I always record everything first. I also go to a notary and have everything notarized so that if I need to, I can proof that it was even created before it was published. But yes, you don't actually have to copyright things for them to be copyrighted. They are, as soon as they exist, they are copyrighted. Proving it, however, is another matter.
How do you prove it? I just had I took the banner off the show, Keanu. I hope Keanu doesn't get ticked off. That's not me. What's her phone number? No, just kidding.
Well, if Keanu Reeves wants to yell at me, I'll take that.
Take that as
like, I'm a big Keanu Reeves fan. By the way.
Yeah, he's good. I like him in John Wick movies. It's a pretty violent film, but I
haven't seen the John Wick.
It's one of those guilty pleasures. Mm-hmm. I'm not into violent films that much. Personally, I'm just for the sake of violence. Like I might go see Sly Stallone. Last Blood. No, but just
the only time I watch movies is on planes because I'm like trapped and I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But like I haven't had time to watch movies in forever.
Yeah, I don't. I'll watch Comcast on demand, like history stuff. I'll watch National Geographic to catch up when I have time. Some football games here and there. Mm-hmm. Would-be says thanks for the help. I'm glad we could help out. Would-be so. Before you wrap this up here, I don't mean to be flippant or nonchalant about being private. Of course, it's important. I think we totally agree on that. Be secure, vigilant, be aware of your surroundings. But if you're looking for privacy on the web, all I can say is good luck. I don't know what else to say. Can you be secure? I think you can be secure, more secure, with Linux systems and, against viruses, malware, ransomware. Yeah, I think that's a lot easier because now you have control. That's the key. You have control. When you get on the web, well, I have control over privacy on the web. You want some more of that? No,
Well,
just
yeah,
kidding.
like I
Yeah.
was looking at my Facebook settings the other day, and I was like,
Yeah.
but I mean, just the fact that my picture is anywhere on there makes like that just removes all privacy. I don't know, like my name and photograph are there,
Hmm.
and they have facial recognition. Like that means any picture that anyone posts of me, and I've had a lot of really bad pictures of me posted and tagged,
Hmm.
just
Really?
because.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like if I'm singing on stage and like someone takes a picture, a lot of times it'll be like mid words, it'll be like, and that's like the
Oh,
picture they'll post on
that
Facebook.
would
They're
be
like,
funny.
yeah, do you know how often that
Here's my
happens?
beautiful friend Stephanie.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I was like, you couldn't have waited 1 millisecond, just for a slightly better shot, but
Or maybe it's just they're trying to be. Well, Gnostic says, haha. Well, I'm glad she could make you laugh, Gnostic. But why don't we give this a 5-minute warning and we'll wrap this up, guys, okay? It's getting late for Stephanie. Yeah. Yeah. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. So, any final comments, questions, disagreements, or rants, feel free to post it. So, I know once this gets finalized and people watch it during the air, I know there'll be a lot of, well, some will disagree, some will agree. And that's fine. Woodby says, wonderful show and topic. Thank you. Again, if you missed any of this, wait till this finishes processing, watch the whole thing. And let me know what you guys think. Look, we have a saying in New York, and not just there, let's get real. I'm being real about this. I want you to be private, to be secure, family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. Of course we do. But just be aware, once you get on the web, all bets are off. Woodby says, pray for world peace. Amen. Totally agree.
world peace would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Again, you can catch Stephanie's music here at stephanieforian.bandcamp.com. If you haven't already, not that I ever mentioned her. Haha. So any sounds a bit wavy gravy. I know. I need like neon lights to come on the banner or so like a disco ball.
Is that, oh yeah, disco ball.
Staying alive. Ha, ha. I like the Bee Gees. Staying
Except
alive.
for this show, we should have I am the eye in the sky, looking at you.
That's one for Stephanie. Okay. All right.
I can read your mind.
Quail says, thank you, Stephanie, for joining us today. Best wishes.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
It's fun to be here.
It's
Thanks,
fun
Boss,
doing
for
these.
inviting me.
Of course. Of course. And next time you come, it won't be like 2.5 days and gone. I cracked a joke. I said, hi. Bye. What was her name? Susan Shakira. Shakira. That was her name. No, but
Yeah, totally.
yeah. Anyway. Wavy Gravy used to say, pray for world peas. Peas. Oh, I get it.
I also like
World
peas.
World peas. Got it. Okay. Well, between the peas and the peace, I'll take the peace. Yeah. Given
I'll
a
take
choice.
both.
Okay. Food and peace go well together.
Yeah, if everybody has enough peas to eat, the chances that we'll have peace are greater.
Yes. Peas for peace. Okay. Paul says, thank you, Carmine and Stephanie. You both rock. Thank you.
So
Yes,
do
I do. It's Stephanie. See, I'm just,
Be-
see, but
Carmine's very modest.
see, whenever we get together, it's like jokes have to fly out of, you need to edit that vlog that was recorded on your phone when I first came to pick you up and we're driving here. And we cracked the, there was a lot of banter back and forth. She's got the video. I don't.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Okay,
It's all
okay.
on my computer. I
Okay.
hope it didn't get deleted.
Well, it's on your phone too, right?
Well, no, because I have to delete the stuff on my phone because I
okay.
don't have enough memory on my phone. So every once in a while, like I had
Save
this
that
video,
one, 'cause that was a
I
funny
had the
one.
best video. It was going to be awesome, and then I
Yeah.
deleted it, and it got corrupted on my hard drive.
Well,
It's
it's
just
okay. Anyway, yeah, okay, all right. Anyway, thank you, Paul. But yeah, whenever us get together, me and her, jokes and silliness have to fly. I don't know. This is what we do, I guess, for being entertainers. So
I don't know. If I'm not singing, I'm not much of an entertainer.
there was a few news and nonsense where you had 3 little quips or little puns. I had 0. Yeah,
Really? I don't think so.
here's one I was.
You zero.
Here's I was talking and I had my phone like, oh, the light came on. Let's get that off. And you were like, thanks for shedding some light on the subject. That's one
Oh
for.
my gosh, I said that.
Yes, you did.
That was a brilliant moment.
Anyone, someone beats me at a joke, especially a girl, I remember was like, damn, why couldn't I think of that? So, but yeah, because this has like motion gesture control. You do that anyway. All right.
Yeah, but when I post on Facebook, you're normally very witty.
Well, I try to be. I try to keep
my
people.
posts are like, I'm trying to be all artsy, and you're like, here's the pun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it, that was good.
Yeah, but see, most of your vlogs are either singing, it's what you do, or meeting people, interesting places. I don't do that, so it's kind of different for you, So
This is true. Yeah,
it
there's,
is
there's
different.
relatively little tech on my channel.
Oh, you did a few Tech Talk things this year,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I do like microphones and stuff, and I get asked a lot about videos now, so I might have to. That's going to be a thing.
Well, the Microsoft, no, the check out guys. Those of you who have questions about mics or know someone what mics to use or how they work, those are actually very good. How do you explain mics? So, all right, final minute warning, guys. Anything else before I end the broadcast? Again, thank you everybody for stopping by. This was fun. This was literally like the last minute. Had no plans today, and this morning I woke up. Oh, Stephanie says, "Hey, if you have time today, well, okay. You have time. Time won't give me time." That was a song by somebody. Can't remember. Time won't. Now I got to look it up. Now I got to look it up.
I don't know, but I'm really bad at playing those games.
Okay.
Like, when people sing songs, I'm like, I don't know what that is. You'd think as a musician I'd be good at that sort of thing, but
I'll have to look it up. I'll just Google it. Who wrote time.
but then Google will know.
I know. How dare you search time will give me time. No, but Stephanie, just because you aren't singing, I think you're beautiful, intelligent, young. I'm running out of bribes here, got cash to bribe these guys. All right,
man,
Quails.
I was feeling so good, and now I know you're just paying them all off.
Just a joke. This is what we do.
Oh, it's so rough.
Well, I think we should end this on a high note, Quail. So, and again, if you missed any of this, that's 2 for Stephanie. Okay, see.
But the first one was just a replay from an old
Well,
vlog. So
but it was a go one. It was a go one. The light
okay,
came
so
on.
it counts twice. I'll take it.
In fact,
I'll take what I can get.
that happened to me twice. You wasn't on. I was making a point. And freaking light came on. Stop it. I want to, Anyway, oh, it was Culture Club. Time will give me time now. He's making a comeback tour. Time will. Yeah, I guess it was. Won't give him. He had a couple hits. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for. I think that was him, right? I'll tumble for you. Yeah.
I'm lost.
Do you really want to find? No, really want to hurt me? Do you really? I think that boy. There's all these songs that pop in my head. Yeah, I think it was Culture Club. Thank you, Gnostic. Time will. Yes. Quail says, laughing out loud, high notes. See, she can be funny. And she's even tired and she's funny. In Munich. No bribery required. That's one for Paul. All right. I'm going to end the broadcast. Me and Stephanie will finish up here. But yeah, if you missed any of this, replay it. That's where you can find Stephanie, and also on YouTube. Keep in touch. You guys know how to reach me, reach us. If you have any suggestions or requests for songs or future topics, with or without Stephanie, that's up to you. Let me know. Boy George, yeah. Boy George, that's who it was. All right. Take care, everyone in the chat. Everyone who watches this later, take care. Thank you. And again, feel free to comment pro or con about the issue of privacy. I'm just telling you how I feel about it, being as honest and open as I can about the issue of privacy on the web. Arrivederci.